Hello students, this is your next flipped vocabulary lesson for Storytown Lesson 23. For this activity you will need a pen or a pencil, your vocab sheet, and optionally a highlighter. Let's take a look at the directions once again. First, you will watch and listen to this presentation on your own. Feel free to pause and go back as needed. Then, write the definition or meaning of each word in the center column on your vocab sheet. Finally, write a brief response to each question that goes along with the vocabulary word in the last column. Are you ready to get started with our first word? Let's go! Our first word this week is an adjective. The word is befitting. Befitting as an adjective means it's a describing word. Let's take a look at the definition. Befitting means something that is proper or appropriate. So I might say, it is befitting to place your napkin on your lap when you go out to dinner. Now think about this question. What type of clothes are befitting a wedding? Write down your idea on your vocab sheet. Our second word on the vocab list this week is disposition. We can already tell that disposition is a noun because it ends with one of the noun suffixes, I-O-N. So, disposition is an idea or a thing. Let's look at the definition. Disposition means a person's regular mood or attitude. You might use the word disposition in a sentence like this. The people asked the new mother whether her newborn baby's disposition was calm or fitful. Now, what is the normal disposition of a puppy? Think about your answer and write it on your vocab sheet. Our next word on the list this week is dispute. Dispute is a verb, but sometimes it can be used as a noun. In our stories this week, we will be using the word dispute as a verb or action word. Let's look at the definition. Dispute means call something into question or oppose it. If you were using this word as a noun, it would be the actual thing that was being argued over. If I were going to use the word dispute in a question, I might say, the two neighbors had a dispute over where the boundary line was. Now, let's think about this question. Why might an athlete dispute a ruling with a referee? Write your answer on your vocab sheet. The next word is revered. Revered is an adjective in our stories this week, but it's also a verb. Remember how sometimes you can use the past participle of a verb in order to use it as an adjective in a sentence? That's how the word revered is sometimes used. Here's the definition. Something that is respected or admired. So maybe you have heard a person who is a minister referred to as a reverend. That comes from the same base word as the word revered comes from. Now think about this question. Who is a historical figure who is revered in America? Think about your answer and write that person's name on your vocab sheet. I hope you're not too hungry while you're looking at this next word on our list. The word is savory, and savory is an adjective or describing word when it's used in a sentence. The definition of savory is food that is seasoned well and tastes good, but is not sweet. Many people go to a restaurant for their savory dishes. Now think about this question. What kind of food do you think is savory? Write your response on your vocab sheet. Here's our next word this week, tolerated. Tolerated is a verb, and if you wanted to use the word tolerated as a noun, you would add the A-N-C-E noun suffix to the end to get the word tolerance. The definition of tolerated is endure or allow something to happen. So if I wanted to use the word tolerated in a sentence, I could say, your teachers encourage you to tolerate people of different skin colors and religions. Now, think about this question. What is something that is not tolerated at school? Write your response on your vocab sheet. The penultimate word on our list this week is unsettling. Unsettling is an adjective or describing word. And here again, for those of you who have been paying attention to the grammar lessons, you can see that we used the present participle of the verb unsettle in order to make a describing word or adjective. Let's take a look at what unsettling means. Unsettling is something that bothers or upsets you. So if you wanted to use the word unsettling in a sentence, you might say, the investors learned some unsettling news about the stock market that made them uneasy about their investments. Now think about this question. When do you find a noise unsettling? Think about it and write your answer on your vocab sheet. Our final word is vigilantly. Vigilantly with the ly suffix at the end is an adverb, which is a word that describes an adjective or a verb. You can also use vigilantly as an adjective by dropping the ly suffix and just using the word vigilant. The definition of vigilantly is to do something watchfully while avoiding danger. You can say that you are vigilant about completing your homework assignments because you always check your assignment notebook to be prepared. Now think about this question. Who watches you vigilantly? Write your response on your vocab sheet. That's it. Now let's take a look at what's next. You can go back to review any words you do not understand. Then please highlight or circle any words you still have questions about, and we will discuss them in class. Be ready to play a review game in class using these words. Also, throughout the week, you will read and understand stories that use these vocabulary words in them. Finally, you will use each word in an original sentence, and this will be your end of week quiz. I hope all of this sounds familiar to you, and I will see you again next week.